because my biggest grievance in music, as it stands, is this whole thing of a download is 79 pence or 99 pence. But that preconceived amount of money is preconceived not by the musicians. That's preconceived by the tech companies.
That's right.
And, there's not a fashion store or retail store in the world that you walk into where the retail store dictates the price of the Gucci jacket or the price of the Armani jacket. It's Armani or Gucci that dictate the price of the wholesale to the retail and so on and so forth. And yet, we just go, oh, well, okay, it goes out and it's 99 pence a download. And for me, I've got an issue with that, but, because, who's to say your track isn't worth a tenner?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe my track's worth, 30 quid. Maybe I've spent 7 months or 7 years on this song, I mean, so who's to say that's not worth more than 99 pence,
You're making a fair point. Art, be it sculpture, be it a piece of art that's hung on a wall or a piece of music that's created, shouldn't be dictated. The price shouldn't be dictated by anyone but the creator of the piece of art. And then also you could create a piece of music, say you spent 7 years and it's your masterpiece and it's something that's really close to your heart and a lot of people want a piece of that. But that piece of art, is going to be around forever. Why is it not going up in value either? Why is there no opportunity for that piece of art to go up in value if there was a singular piece of it made for someone to buy? I think knowing one's value is something that I've only learned in the last 5 years, and I learned it from a business woman, going into business with a business partner, knowing the value of my time, what I value, how much it costs to get me in the room in front of people, or us putting a price on a ticket on selling to get people through the door. So why are we letting, as artists, as creators, letting an industry dictate to us? Why? But that it's changing. It's changing very quickly, and I can see in the not so distant future the fall of monsters like even Spotify, where I know there's a movement happening already because musicians are making no money touring, and that's what we were relying on for so long. And now here we have this other monster that's in Spotify dictating how much you get paid for the play. Well, they're valued at, I think last year it's something at 5 billion. And superstar artists who are getting 1 million plays of their famous song are getting paid $1,000 or something stupid. It's an insult. The model itself is wrong, and this is what's wrong. We could talk all day about modern culture and the way the capitalism has got out of control, but it's almost like a monopoly in so many industries. You've got Uber monopolizing the taxi industry, and you've got Airbnb monopolizing, the sort of staying away at a weekend, and then you've got Spotify, who's literally all they've done is built a fucking website that all this content across the world rests on, and they're dictating how much we're going to get paid by play. And you said it, 1 million plays gets you £32 or something stupid like that. Like that's not a way to sustain an industry, and it's not a fair way to treat art. It's not a fair way to treat music. And music needs musicians, and we all need to come together and take these monsters on, because that's what they are. This is a ridiculous situation where you've got one massive super company dictating to an entire industry. It's disgusting.
It is, and I've always had issues with the way that music was divvied up, because I think even, I've had a lot of records out there where I've wrote the record or I've produced the record or whatever, and you can sit for a year or two and your royalties will come in from PRS or MCPS or whatever, Gamma or whatever, STIM or whatever one it is that you're from. And in it comes, and you know, you're kind of like, really, I mean, how are they working this out? You know, how are they calculating this? How are they collecting this? And okay, it's nice to get something, but you still sort of, when you're really, I put myself so deep into the business and so deep into the actual infrastructure of the business of music that I sat down with the companies, and I you know, really got into the nitty gritty, started looking at synchronization and licensing and all the various things, and you know, publishing and all of that, and looking at everything and sitting down and going, artists should be getting at least 3, 4, 5 times in some occasions of what they're actually receiving. But all of these middlemen, people are getting put in place all across the industry that make it, you know, I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, you're told to join the MCPS as an example, or the PRS, but if they're collecting your money in a different country, the organization in that country collect the money on behalf of MCPS, PRS, and then they take their percentage. Yeah. Then they send it to PRS, MCPS, and then they take their percentage. And then they send it to you, and then you're taxed, and then you're left with your percentage. Yeah. And so now you've paid, you know, you've had triple taxation on your money. Whereas if what I learned years ago was I had to join all of these organizations in every country that my music was being released in. So in Sweden, it's STIM, for example. So I went and joined STIM in Sweden. And so they paid me directly. And then, you know, this one paid me directly, and that one paid me directly, so that I was cutting out this middleman thing, which, again, the first year I did that, it increased my money almost by double what I was getting before, and on songs that were past catalogue songs, so it was roughly the same every year type thing. But I mean, no one's teaching the kids these things. No one's going out there and actually explaining this is what you need to do. Because